We've all been there, that groggy feeling when you first open your eyes, the world's still a blur, and you just know it's going to be one of those days. Have you ever woken up feeling, well, a bit off, like something's just not quite right but you can't put your finger on it? Maybe you stubbed your toe on that pesky piece of furniture that seems to move in the night, or perhaps you spilled your coffee all over the kitchen counter, or maybe you just felt inexplicably grumpy for no apparent reason. We've all been there. You might even say you got up on the wrong side of the bed, but what does that really mean? Is there a right side and a wrong side to wake up on? This common phrase has puzzled many, and it makes you wonder, where did it come from? Why do we say it? Let's dive into the surprising history of this grumpy saying. It turns out the origins of getting up on the wrong side of the bed are quite fascinating and date back centuries. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride through time and language. We use this phrase all the time, but have you ever thought about what it really means? Is there some hidden wisdom in these words? Is there actually a wrong side of the bed to wake up on? Of course not. But the phrase has endured for a reason. The phrase has a long and fascinating history dating back centuries. It was believed in ancient times that the left side of anything was associated with bad luck and misfortune. So grab your coffee, hopefully you didn't spill it, and let's explore the origins of got up on the wrong side of the bed. We'll uncover how this saying has evolved over time and why it still resonates with us today. In ancient Rome, it was considered unlucky to get out of bed on the left side. The Romans believed that the left side was sinister, a word that actually comes from the Latin word for left. They thought that by getting out of bed on the left side, you were inviting bad luck into your day. This superstition was so strong that people would go to great lengths to avoid it. Over time, this belief spread and evolved, becoming part of the common vernacular. Even though we no longer hold the same superstitions, the phrase has stuck around. Today, when we say someone got up on the wrong side of the bed, we're simply acknowledging that they're having a rough start to their day. It's a way of empathizing with their struggles, no matter how small. So, next time you wake up feeling a bit off, remember it's just a phrase with a rich history. And maybe, just maybe, knowing its origins will help you start your day with a smile. After all, every day is a new opportunity to turn things around. So, here's to starting your day on the right side of the bed. The idea that one side of the bed is wrong actually dates back to ancient times. It's fascinating to think that such a seemingly trivial detail could have such deep historical roots. The ancient Romans, those toga-wearing folks, believed that the left side of the body was associated with bad luck. This wasn't just a casual belief, it was deeply ingrained in their daily lives and practices. This belief stemmed from their association of the left side with the underworld and the god of the underworld, Pluto. In Roman mythology, Pluto was a powerful and often feared deity, ruling over the realm of the dead. Not exactly someone you want to invite to breakfast. Imagine starting your day with the thought that you might accidentally invite bad luck just by getting out of bed on the wrong side. Because of this superstition, people in ancient Rome were careful to get out of bed on the right side each morning. This wasn't just a personal quirk, it was a widespread practice that many adhered to. They believed this would bring them good luck and ward off any evil spirits lurking about. Superstitions like these were common in ancient societies, where people often sought ways to control their fate and fortune. Can you imagine starting your day with that much pressure? The fear of bad luck was a real and tangible concern for many, influencing their actions and decisions from the moment they woke up. No wonder they invented the toga party. Perhaps it was a way to lighten the mood and bring some joy into their lives, a chance to forget about the superstitions and just have fun. The toga party, in its modern form, is a nod to these ancient traditions, albeit with a much more relaxed and festive atmosphere. It's interesting to see how these ancient customs have evolved and been reinterpreted over time. Even today we have our own superstitions and rituals, though they might seem less intense than those of the ancient Romans. From avoiding walking under ladders to knocking on wood, these practices show that the human desire to influence luck and fate is timeless. So the next time you get out of bed, take a moment to think about which side you're stepping out on. You might just be continuing a tradition that dates back thousands of years, connecting you to the ancient Romans in a small but fascinating way. And who knows? Maybe starting your day on the right side of the bed will bring you a little extra luck, just like it did for those toga-wearing folks of ancient Rome. Fast forward to medieval times, and beds themselves were a bit riskier than your average Tempur-Pedic. Imagine sleeping on a straw-filled mattress perched precariously on a wooden frame. not exactly a recipe for a restful night. In those days, getting out of bed on the wrong side could have actual consequences. Imagine stumbling out of bed in the dark and tripping over the uneven floor. Or worse, imagine accidentally rolling out of bed and landing on a chamber pot. Google it, kids. In medieval times, waking up on the wrong side of the bed could lead to a very rude awakening indeed. Now let's fast forward a bit more to the time of Shakespeare. The Elizabethan era was a time of great cultural and artistic flourishing. Streets were bustling with life, and theaters were filled with eager audiences ready to be entertained by the latest plays. Shakespeare, of course, was at the heart of this vibrant scene. While the exact origin of the phrase "got up on the wrong side of the bed" is unknown, some believe it was popularized during this era. The phrase suggests waking up in a bad mood, and it's fascinating to think about how people in Shakespeare's time might have experienced their mornings. Although Shakespeare himself never actually used the phrase in his plays, sorry to disappoint, his works are filled with expressions and idioms that have stood the test of time. Shakespeare had a knack for capturing the human experience in all its complexity, and his plays often explored themes of mood and temperament. Similar expressions appear in his works. For instance, in The Taming of the Shrew, there's a line where a character speaks of being cursed and shrewd. This reflects a similar sentiment of waking up in a foul mood. In his play, King Henry V, there's a line about someone being out of humor. This suggests that the concept of waking up in a bad mood was already well established in Elizabethan England. Shakespeare's characters often grappled with their emotions, and his plays are rich with references to the human condition. This suggests that the concept of waking up in a bad mood was already well established in Elizabethan England. Morning routines in those days were quite different from ours, but the idea of starting the day on the wrong foot seems to be a timeless one. Perhaps Shakespeare avoided the phrase because it was already considered a cliché. Or maybe he simply had his own unique way of expressing the same idea. Regardless, his works continue to resonate with audiences today, reminding us that some experiences are universal, no matter the era. By the 18th century, the phrase "got up on the wrong side of the bed" began appearing in print. One of the earliest known printed examples is in Samuel Johnson's Dictionary of the English Language from 1755. This suggests that the phrase was already widely used and understood by English speakers at the time. From there, the phrase continued to gain popularity, appearing in novels, plays, and everyday conversation. It seems that people throughout history have always understood the experience of waking up feeling grumpy and out of sorts. Today, the phrase "got up on the wrong side of the bed" is still widely used. We use it to describe someone who's being grumpy, irritable, or just generally unpleasant to be around. Of course, we now understand that there's no actual wrong side of the bed, unless you count the side with the cold spot. The phrase has become a lighthearted way to acknowledge a bad mood, often with a touch of humor. After all, we all have those days when we wake up feeling a bit off. It's just part of being human. So, the next time you wake up feeling a bit grumpy, just remember the long and hilarious history of the phrase "got up on the wrong side of the bed." It's a saying that has connected people across cultures and centuries, reminding us that we all experience bad moods from time to time. And who knows, maybe knowing the origins of this phrase will help you see the humor in those grumpy mornings. After all, laughter is the best way to turn any day around. Well, there you have it. But wait, just one more thing. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and share our videos on your social media platforms. If you are a teacher or homeschooler, please include our videos in your curriculum, and thanks again for watching.